guys, welcome to the casting channel, the casting pal with myself, Pixel, and of course Draskell. The game has begun, so let's go straight into the action here between Monkey Freedom Fighters and NLG Gaming. This is game one of the two-game series, and as always, Andy, I do like to hear your thoughts and feelings on the heroes that have been picked up in this game of Dota 2. So what are your thoughts and feelings, my friend?
I feel NLG, if their lanes are successful and they can snowball with track gold and kind of just run at MFF, I feel like that strategy could work for them, especially since it's going to be a Luna carry and Leshrac. These heroes, if they're playing from behind against what NLG have, I feel like it's going to be a struggle for them. So I think the first 10 to 15 minutes of this game are going to be crazy important for both teams. If MFF get ahead, they're going to have a fantastic team fight. They got Tombstone, Kinetic Field, Static Storm, as I think Shane already mentioned on the couch, so that's great team fight. But everything for me in this game is down to the laning phase.
Let's see how it goes down. And of course, talking about the laning phase, the fact that when we saw NLG yesterday, you know, when they had that really good start for Excalibur, and yeah, they were able to do so much with the lead that they got early in the series against Empire. So yeah, let's see if Excalibur's able to step up to that one today. He's going to be dealing with Orions on the Lesh, and of course Leshrac, we don't really see him that much in the mid lane anymore. Sometimes teams like to pick him up in the support position. Bottom lane, I mean, the right clicks here from Sing Sing doing a fair bit, but he's got to be careful from Mitch with the shell. But this bottom lane not going too great for NLG, as we do just see. But yeah, the mid lane Leshrac, why do you feel that they picked up this game?
I feel like there weren't really a lot of great options left, to be honest. They needed somebody that could actually do okay against TA. Like,
Duna?
Yeah, he could be dead.
I think this could be your first pick. They're going to want to just continue in for this one, and Garter. Oh, won't take it. The salve was expended. They should be able to toggle off the aggro just here. 5 HP. I'm playing on the edge, but calculated. Of course.
So I think the Leshrac is one of the spammy type heroes that you play against TA. Not necessarily good for harassing the hero itself, but it is good in the way that you can keep the wave out so TA can't go on you. It's very similar to how SF plays against TA. You just spam non-stop and you just get your bottle crow if you have to, if you're not going to have the rune control, which I feel NLG should be able to secure top rune pretty much every single time. So he might be forced to bottle crow once or twice.
And in terms of the skill build here on the mid-lesh, do you still go for the 2 nukes here, or do you think we'll see an early point with the old Diabolic?
I think with the way that you play this, maybe he gets like 1 value point into it, just in case he gets tower dove by the TA. It can be very useful to have that. But otherwise, you just go for full passive. He is pretty far up right now. Milan's low on health though.
Yeah, it's going to be a question of if Milan wants to reveal himself, because Arise could turn. He's a little bit low on the mana at the moment, so it'll be quite up to get down the 1-2 combo. Looks like this will just be kind of wasted time for the bounty hunter, and yeah, he's just going to head top, check out the room. It is.
Have to take it.
There's a DG, and he'll turn and give Demon some here now. I've got back up as well the Iron Demon. Well, he might just find a kill. He goes straight in onto Milan. He's now going to turn his attention towards Spartan. And he will continue to do so. He does in fact have a mango, so in 5 seconds he's going to turn around and sharp potentially.
There's a salve on Spartan as well, bottle charge.
Bottom lane?
Yep.
MFF picking themselves up a second kill here. We've already talked about the strength of this bottom lane. One of the reasons why the bounty hunter didn't want to stick around with the Darkseer. It's, I mean, even though Darkseer is strong as an offlaner as he is, he's got to be very careful when he's going up against the lane of the Disruptor.
Their damage is insane too. That's the other part of it. Like Lunar Blessing, extra 14 damage to 3 heroes hitting you at the same time, that adds up very, very quickly. So even a Darkseer who has decent base armor is still going to be struggling with that. They do get a nice D-Ward down though. They get the Observer and the Sentry both with 1. That is some serious value. That means if the Bounty Hunter wanted to stick around bottom a little bit more now, he could. After having checked the support's inventory, he knows there's no more sentries available. And he could probably make something happen, but it seems very tough to pressure the safe lane of MFF for the time being.
Mid lane as well. I mean, Excalibur has got the edge. 22 for 6 in CS compared to the 14 for 5 in Arise. Yeah, we're seeing them trying to go in again, and they've got the blinders bringing it straight back, and it's this combo. You just can't run away from the Disruptor. Milan's trying to turn. Have they got any detection to pop down?
They don't.
Even I might pay for his life here. No, he's not even going to reveal it. Oh, Jesus.
So close.
And now Milan.
1 second. 1 second.
They might just kill him. Oh, that was unfortunate for NLG. On the top lane, they did manage to kill Jimmy on the toss, but the fact that they couldn't get Sing Sing. Oh.
I actually think if the Wisp came down here, this lane would be quite hard for MFF. Like with bottle charges and a a tether onto Mitch or maybe even a bounty hunter, like when they go on him, if he gets glimpsed, you just go in with the wisp and then you just spam bottle charges. I think in the first few levels it would have been very difficult for them to kill, but now since the ASUS is 3, he has 1 point into everything. That actually makes it maybe a tiny bit harder. And Tusk versus Sardar 1v1, it's not really that bad for either hero. Yeah, sure, both are going to get some farm, but I think they might have been able to win the off lane if they had the wisp, but of course it is a little bit late for that. The late transition might not do too many favors for them.
I mean, what do you reckon about obviously seeing his choices to play the Luna this game? I mean, up against the Slardar and the TA, there's going to be that mid-game point where those heroes are just going to run at you. And as a Luna, you're going to be fairly squishy for a certain window of the game.
They got Snowball, they got Glimpse. There are some ways to stop them from getting in. I think that's kind of what they're relying on the most. And another reason why Lesh is so nice here, because of the fact that they got Slardar, Bounty Hunter, TA's range isn't great, as Jimmy could be dead again.
Oh, Jimmy's already died twice this game. Let's turn around with a quick snowball and Shards, but I'm getting incredibly late. In fact, we'll be dropped here as the Sora from the Absol finishes him off. They do manage to keep Demon alive here. Got to just hanging around seeing if he could find anything else in return. But yeah, just losing the bounty on the top lane. Yeah, very nice rotation there from Absol.
Unworthy.
But I do feel that if the game keeps going at this rate, like MFF keep getting these nice small exchanges, it's going to be real hard for Slardar to just kind of run in, you know, because you're running against a Leshrac. If you don't have BKB, you're going to get stunned out. And speaking of top, Yapsor could be in trouble.
Okay. Oh, we might need a bit more than that. Jimmy is coming in and they've got the snowball station dodging the crush. Very nice. And Yapsor walking away on 3 HP and he's going to make it. Milan's starting to dive, but the dust is out. Slowing him down, Demon's still moving in, and now Rise is turned up. Yapsor's going to live, Milan's going to lose his life. Spartan lucky to get himself away just on 11 HP. I mean, these are a lot of very close encounters, but overall, it is favouring the side of Monkey Freedom Fighters as they sit 6 for 2 at 6 minutes.
Did you not see that Yapsor had boots? Because I don't think there's any way you dive that if you notice that Undying has
very ambitious dive.
Yeah, he was trying to get a shuriken, but very hard in that situation. Undying is already fast, and on top of boots, he runs at 360. So there was really no chance for him to get that kill at all. Very unfortunate that he ends up committing that hard for it. Yeah, bottom lane. Mitch could be in some trouble again.
Yep, this could be another...
He's dead, there's nothing he can do.
There really isn't.
Yeah.
I mean, both off-laners having a hard time this game. Jimmy dying a few times, and so's Mitch here for the side of NLG.
It's way worse, though, for NLG to lose their Darkseer. Like, I think at this point you just go to jungle. Like, you're not pressuring the lane anymore, you're pretty much just an extra creep for the Luna to farm. I mean, it sounds harsh, but the reality is Disruptor is one of the best heroes against off-laners like that when you have a safe laner who can do a good amount of damage.
Milan, I'm just going to hang around, see if he can do something against the Rise, but at this point it's going to be fairly hard. Well, that was the slows with the trap, so Excalibur could try and dive. But yeah, Milan's going to hold back, look elsewhere on the map, and yeah, as you said, Mitch taking your advice and sticking to the jungle here. So at the least, you know, they're not going to be giving any more kills away to Sing and the Luna, but this is going to give them the space for Luna to get a lot of farm. Start to get some pressure on the tower. It looks like they're just going to put Milan down on this lane so he can soak up some of the XP. I mean, he can try for a bit of harassment, but it's going to be very risky to do so. So Wayne Garton just taking a decay from Yapzor. And his farm at the moment, 33 for 10. Not as good as a Sing, of course, on that lane, 43 for 24 at the moment.
Well, that's what happens when you get multiple kills on the off-laner. Yep. Like, you get to a point where you know the off-laner is going to leave, you can just static farm if you want. If you want to pressure, that's also an option. Luna is great at taking towers early, so if you want to turn the Aquila on and just push it out, which it seems like he is doing for the time being, that's always a good option. I'm kind of curious as to why NLG stuck around bottom for so long. Maybe they just wanted to keep way too away from mid. I mean, that's one of the only things that I can think of. You don't want the Disruptor moving around because he can actually just straight up kill. For example, on the TA, if he has Dust, same thing that happens to the offlaner, so maybe they were just trying to keep Steve safe by having him down here.
And the team does realize that we have a lot of pings coming out. So Milan's going to get away with it. Yeah, this is nice for Steve. And I've got to be honest, I think a lot of this at this point is going to be on how active the TA can be at this point of the game, because Steve's had a great time. You know, he's coming out on top of the mid lane compared to a Rise. But this could be a bit of a disaster here. Oh, Shards pushing him out. The sun's going to be whipped from a rise, and Excalibur's just going to turn and try and look for a kill. Demon also needs CP out, nothing to cancel that one. We couldn't get the slot in quick enough. A little bit unfortunate there from the side of MFF that they go that deep and aren't able to take the kill on Excalibur, which would have been very important for them.
I really like this smoke play from NLG. They know that one hero just TP'd out, so there's pretty much no way the Tusk can come in to save, so they're going to go for a dive here, I think.
Let's see, and they need this as well. Joey straight in onto Sing Sing. They're going to need some backup here. Sing Sing trying to get a flash, cancelling. Animation, the absolute turns, but he's all alone. The third kill in the fight for NLG is to take down the Tombstone as well. And that is exactly what they need to be doing here with this TA, just getting Excalibur into these early fights where Luna just doesn't even have a chance.
Yeah, that's the one downside. So I think they pick Luna because they know it's a strong partner with Disruptor, in the sense that you know you can win your safe lane with those two heroes against Darkseer and even the Bounty, because you can do so much damage. But it's not really strong if the enemy team is 5-manning you with a very early blink and Garter.
Keep him in.
Yeah, they want something.
I mean, it looks like they're going to try and run. Yeah, Mitch is just going to surge himself out. And they won't be able to get anything from the side of NLG. They get themselves safely out. After the back of that fight, we do have, of course, TA and the Slaughter at the top of the net worth. So, all things said and done, NLG turning around what was a little bit of a shaky early game. Very nicely, 10 minutes in.
Yeah, that fight was huge for them. Getting that tower that easily, going down there, trading 3 for 1, defending their Ancient stack on top of everything else, like that's also key, because they didn't even try to kill it. They just smoked up right after they saw Demon TP away, and they just went for the dive. They knew they had the heroes to just run at you, especially with that nice Blink Dagger timing coming out from Garter. It was very good coordination and synergy between the teams. So I'm still looking at the Leshen. I'm thinking, does he actually go Yules here? Because he did buy a Satyrs Mask. It could just be the standard Soul Ring into Bloodstone though as well. But I think having Yules is actually crazy strong this game. Just being able to get that free setup on a stun, especially on like a surged hero, for example, it just lets you peel so much more for your team, which I kind of feel like Arise needs to do.
Ooh, okay, relocate up top here, Garter. Yeah, he's getting himself out. The TP started to come in. Let's see if they can find anything off the bat, but no, they're too speedy. NLG getting themselves out, but just trying for these little kind of plays. That's exactly what they need to be doing at this point. If they can kill Sing Sing once again, it's going to be pretty painful for MFF's progression.
He even went up there assuming that there might be a fight breaking out. I think there is really good synergy between the Luna and the Tusk this game too. If you get into a snowball and you can pop your Eclipse in a good way with all these melee heroes, it's actually very tough for NLG to deal with that. The only one who's good against it is obviously Excalibur. Like Refraction can eat a majority of the charges, so that's one nice thing. But I think these ultimates from MFF, if they're placed well, it's going to be pretty hard to fight into.
Let's see what the next bit of a plan is. What's got to go in the main Slaughter?
I think he just has Blink still, right? Yeah.
Yeah, okay. It's time to go into that. I mean, if they could catch out way too here in the mid lane, it's going to be hard, because obviously MFF are playing a little bit more carefully. Sing Sing is going out on his own on this bottom lane. That's something that they need to think twice about, because yeah, there's a bit of a movement coming in from NLG. Looking to send some heroes down here. I'm trying to get some vision. If they catch Sing Sing out in terms of vision, it is night time. We've got to be very careful, and that's actually going to be a smoke up from MFF, so maybe even thinking about trying to wrap around onto a Sing Sing bait. Pins are out on motion, there's nothing there at the moment. I'm just getting the wards in, with that they will spot these spots straight away, the D wards there. So
yeah, that's actually so bad to drop your ward and just have it instantly die.
That's some smart decision making from NLG. Keeping it cool, keeping it safe. Steve on his TA going for the Densolator first. Watch those treads.
He's almost got it actually. So like 900 away, something like that. That's not too bad. Counter smoke comes in. They just go straight for Roshan. Okay. I like this. You got the Meld minus armor, you got Slardar. You got TA to tank it with Refraction. It's a pretty low risk move, and as it stands right now, MFF, they don't really seem to know.
Man, they can't really.
Oh, you know why? Because they showed Darkseer top, so they might not think about it because of that. They're kind of lingering in the area, but it's going to be way too late.
Nice, so we're going to amplify and meld. That's a lot of armor reduction.
Easy peasy.
A lot indeed. Easy Aegis here for Excalibur. 14 minutes in. And then just TP himself. back to base in fact. What was he picking up? Was he picking up the completed, was it just the second refinement series?
Nah, he doesn't have it.
Okay, so,
not yet.
Okay, not quite.
He put his stick on the courier, I think.
Okay,
that's what he did. Yeah. He did drop his stick, confirmed.
Radiant's middle tower is being attacked.
A couple of things still going well for MFF. They now have Static Storm available. They have the Eclipse, they have Walrus Punch, so all the important heroes, I think, for hitting level 6 ultimate-wise are where they need to be. So even with that second life on Excalibur, there is a good opportunity for MFF to take a fight. Like, a well-placed Static Storm, Eclipse, that fight's over. Like, there's no BKB. You're not going to be able to really save anyone outside of, like, a Tether relocate, or maybe you're lucky and you can get a Surge and run. But if you're inside the kinetic field, you're a goner.
Sing at the moment, still trying to get the money here for the completed helm. Except for the shreds and Kia. And then we'll see what you can do with kind of what he's got at his disposal. Because with the Luna, I guess you do still do a fair bit of damage with the passive. But, I mean, you aren't going to be winning a 1v1 versus a hero like a TA or a Slardine until you've got at least a couple more major items online.
Yeah, definitely not. You don't even want a man fight TA, like at any stage in the game, I feel. You just kind of get wrecked by melds. Unless you have like evasion and he doesn't have an MKB, that could be like one time where you could just stand toe to toe, but more often than not you're kind of there for your ultimate. Your push potential is good, and obviously your ultra late game is also good, like when you have like Butterfly, Satanic, BKB, Manta, you know, like that late game. That's actually very hard to deal with because you can no longer just be bursted down if you time your Manta properly and get rid of that amp. But that is also something to keep in mind here, is I've said this before, it's very hard to be tanky against Slardar. Like, you have to be very far ahead and build, like, Vlad's, have an AC on your team as well to really feel comfortable playing into that minus armor.
Just continue to just make the ancient stacks here. I'm sure that Excalibur can find some more gold in his pocket later on, but for the time being, they're going to smoke up. They've got that there, so... And they are ready to blow up a hill on the side of MFF. There's no one farming the bottom anyway. In fact, there's a smoke up from MFF as well as... Yeah, there is. So a bit of these smokes coming out at the same time. And it's going to be a case of both teams avoiding each other unless the full wraparound comes from NLG here up by the Radiant Secret Shop.
I like MFF smoke a tiny bit more, just because even if they don't find anything, they can still pressure the tier 1.
Yes.
NLG are just kind of looking for something. They did actually place one ward with their smoke, so that makes a little bit more sense for me. Like, oftentimes you see a team smoke, they place wards aggressively just to make sure they can keep vision, but MFF, they're going for an objective. They're not going to have any contention on this tier 1. As of right now, NLG just rolling the sack it, so they'll try to go for the tier 2. But MFF are going to have plenty of time to get back, and there's only 2 minutes left before this Aegis expires on Excalibur. Still no BKBs up on the side of NLG either. I feel MFF's team fight is very strong, but their Lush is out of mana, pretty much.
I'm kind of interested in what Sing at the moment. He's got 2k gold in the bank on this Luna after the Helm. I mean, do you think he's going to be saving up for anything instead of finishing off the Helm of the Dominator and just sticking with the Iron Helm?
I think it could have been a laning phase item. Like, sometimes you buy the Helm of Ironwood for regen and armor, just like tanking creep waves if there's a Darkseer there. That is common. But he could go back and buy like BKB straight up if he feels he needs.
Talking about going back, they need to. Because the push is being put to tier 3 here. They will see the tombstone drop. Excalibur heads onto the front line, trying to remove it. Has of course got that Aegis. Excalibur will get dragged back. They'll find themselves the first kill here on the defense. Now the Aegis have been popped on Excalibur.
This is real bad.
Mitch and Milan having to be very, very careful in Excalibur. Not to Demon, he'll find one, but now here comes the old Thron Sing. They clean up. They've found 2 more. They've found a 4th.
That was brutal.
As NLG pretty much wide, the man will live, but a very unsuccessful high ground push attempt. I mean, they didn't even get a tier 3, did they? No, they didn't get a tier 3.
They barely even touched it, to be honest. Okay, so that was pretty much just down to Garter going way too ham. Like, he blinks past the tier 3 into tier 4s into a Tusk of all heroes, right? Like, you know there's a disruptor on the team. He's got level 4 Glimpse, there's a Tusk, and that's the hero that you choose to initiate on, out of anyone? That was just not the greatest decision making I've ever seen.
Alright.
Got it.
Don't know anything on, but nonetheless, but we're going into the buckets there of NLG. Once he's coming and drops the Sentry Host, going around to one without one, but I'm going to play it smartly. Stick to
He's got another one, and Dust, so if Milan comes out for any reason, then he'll be spotted.
Alright, Arise with the Ooze on top of that 1500 gold. I mean, at this point, does he just go for the Bloodstone, or is there anything else that the Lesh could be thinking about?
I think Bloodstone now is fine. I think just having an early use against this kind of team composition, again, it's about getting them, like getting the distance between you and them. Like if the TA gets in your face and the Slardar gets in your face, you're in a lot worse of a situation. But if you can use them and run away and line up a stun, that is like the dream. This team can kite out very well on the side of MFF between having Glimpse, Kinetic Field, Snowball to dodge, Sigil. They have good movement speed on their core heroes. So there is potential for kiting out, and I feel MFF are looking real good right now. They are going to hit him a lot with that.
Did they just find him with the dust? I heard a dust. They did catch him.
They didn't notice fast enough. So Yapso didn't ping. Maybe he said something, but he got a decay sack from throwing that into fog. So if he noticed it, he could have just pinged the spot, and there could have been a potential canceled TP, but didn't react quickly enough.
Steve here on his TA does have the Blink Dagger on its way as well now, so with the Blink Deso, 20 minutes, not too shabby of a timing at all. You've got to be careful on the side of MFF, but at the same time, they do have ways to deal with someone jumping in. I mean, they've got a Rise with the Use, they've got the Glimpse from the Disruptor, I mean, even something just like the Snowball as well from the Tusk. There are ways that they can stop it. They've just got to be very careful, and they've got to stick with Sing, because if he jumps onto Sing Sing at this point when he's leaner, then it could be an easy pick-off for Steve, but I'm sure MFF will play it safely and ensure that there's always going to be someone around to help Sing Sing look for the initial burst.
It is minus 15 armor if you get melded right now with a Deso, so you're going from 19 armor to 4. Pretty big difference when you only have 1200 health on strength treads. You get amp on top of that, you can die in like 2 hits. So very, very scary time right now for MFF. Once that Luna gets farmed though, I think they're going to be struggling a bit on NLG. Like he gets up to Manta. I think going Manta first is great against this team because really the only thing that's scary to you is amplify damage. So buying a BKB would kind of be like a last-ditch effort if you were defending high ground, but Manta not only lets you farm more effectively, but it gives you that escape mechanism from being able to like walk into trees or just flat out run away, get rid of track as well. We're going on mid.
We talked about it, Sing Sing gets left alone and he has been here. He's all on his own, no one here beside him, and that's exactly what MFF don't want to be doing, leaving Sing on his own, because that's just going to happen every time with an IR in the game and the blink on the TA.
Oh, that's entry! Go on!
Beautiful timing. Can manage to do anything with it though, because they're running away. Garth is moving in, so Steve. They find the crush, he does get Glimpse back. Steve still hanging on the sidelines here. The Tombstone doing quite a bit in terms of just cancelling the blinks and stopping them from going further in. We'll see if this continues now. Steve's just going to head to the jungle, pick up some farm. He's not interested in fighting. The rest of his team though are still grouped up in the mid lane here, No Logic Gaming. Spartan coming in from the side, but MFF, they're playing it safely. They don't want to risk taking a fight, especially when Sing Sing is down. Sing Sing will be back up now. We'll see if they do anything with this, but the track's still in the upside, it's not going to wear out. Okay, there's level 11 on Sing. He's got the ultimate back online as well, so they could look to fight here. And he's still got to spend his money. I mean, is there any chance that he will just go for the S&Y this game instead, or do you just feel that...
I feel like Manta is very valuable.
Yeah.
He did finish the Helm of the Dominator before going to full Manta, but he could just be doing that as an efficient play to save for buyback, but that part makes sense, because he's not going to buy like an ultimate orb and then replace a bracer with it, because the value is minimal from that, right? Like you're getting 7 agility, 7 int, and then what, 4 strength, big deal. Like that's not worth it for the cost, but finishing the Dominator gives you 20 damage for 900 gold. That's a pretty good investment. You get the bonus life steal, you can start stacking. I'm kind of worried though for MFF, like even though they've had a good amount of map control this game, I feel once Excalibur and the Slardar get to BKBs, they're going to really struggle with physical damage. Like who's going to actually be killing these heroes? You're going to be looking to Way 2 to get like an Aghanims at some point, but he is broke. He is playing the hard 5 this game. So he's got not even a point booster to his name. So I feel like they should try to do something.
Well, there we go. And the push on in the mid lane is going to be pretty good push as well, of course, with that Edict and Mr. Sing Song. With that extra damage from the passive. Lan's hanging on the sidelines. At the same time on the bottom lane we see NLG trying to get a bit of action going on themselves here. Excalibur just pushing the lane and has Spartan as well. With that relocate, if a fight does kick on in the mid, I'm just getting the tracks out here. I'm not going to jump straight onto him. Beautiful sentry placement. That's going to allow him a free kill down to the bounty hunter. Nothing that NLG can do in reaction to that one. And still hanging around at the bottom, the pings are coming out. It's going to be a 2P to the top lane from Sing as he finds Mitch, and Mitch, cheeky back in blink. So he continues to farm this up, and he has now racked up the 2k gold towards that ultimate if that's what he's going to be getting, and it is, yeah, the code's going out, he's got the recipe, so that's going to be a match start now, complete on sync, so it's going to be a little bit harder to get, you know, for the catch outs to be as easy as they're happening for NLG when we're finding alone across the map.
That map is going to be real key for this fight too. Could be the difference between winning and losing. This Roshan is dying super fast
They
though.
need to get that. They need to get that Monkey Freedom Fighters.
They're sending in the sigil.
Here we go. They're going to be able to jump in. The Absol's ready to fight straight into Snowball as well. They should be able to find it. And Excalibur's just melting. There's the damage reduction as well. But they do find the Aegis. Could die kill him. And Steve did get his hands on it. He's also managed to get himself out as well. Now all the Yules onto Mitch. They've found themselves a double kill for Rise. So all things said and done, well, Spartan's going to lose his life here.
TA back to base.
I mean, Spartan, we saw him with the Eye the other day, and he was just saving everyone left, right, and centre, and doing exactly the same thing.
He was on point. I just want to mention really quickly, if that Slardar had BKB during that fight, like he's pretty close, you know, maybe like 1100 gold away. If they waited until BKBs on both the TA and the Slardar to take that, I'd say they probably win that fight. Just because their cores deal so much damage that you can't last a 10-second BKB if you can't use any spells on the opponent, right? Like they don't have any escape mechanisms. All of their heroes are relying on just Snowball to get you out of a bad situation if there's magic immunity, so I feel like that's very hard to utilize in a tight-knit space like that, so maybe a bit unfortunate that NLG don't get the Roshan without losing something for it. I think a 3-hero trade, MFF are probably going to be feeling alright about that. Just depends on what Excalibur can do with this BKB Aegis and Blink Dagger.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting what his game plan is at the moment. I'm just getting intel, see some things up on the top right. And Steve just farming the enemy jungle at the moment. Knows that there is a bit of action going on top, so he's safe to do so. Need to be scared. I mean, what does he go for now after the BKB? Does he just continue to build more damage here? We're going to see some Daedalus come out?
Yeah, I think Daedalus is really good. MKB is also good.
MKB might be the option.
I don't believe that anyone... Okay, so there is a Solar Crest in the making on Demon. So he might see that and opt in for the MKB. I think it's a safe choice. You still do plenty of damage. But Daedalus is kind of like that I can one-shot the Disruptor kind of play. It's very nice. You just go into somebody and you blow them up with a crit. That Disruptor is making up lads, by the way. I actually like that.
So Freedom Fighters finding himself a free tier 2 at the same time. Excalibur is moving in. Also try and clear this tier 3. The TPs are coming out. You've got to get yourself straight back and leave it smoke for the extra speed as well. And yeah, as you said,
it's actually more for the vision than it is the...
Oh, okay.
Because the thing is, like, if the Absol is chasing them and they don't smoke, there's vision for glimpse, and that means one of the heroes dies. At the very least, Spartan's gonna have to use relocate to get the TA out. Or I guess he could have BKB'd it. I don't know. It is a nice play though. Very safe.
Yeah, I mean, this is the one thing, of course, with that death, so anytime that bot lane gets left alone, you're gonna expect to see them there with Spartan.
Yeah. And I mean, that is actually a pretty good hero at ratting if you think about it. If this lane is always pushed in, the TA does a lot of damage to towers because of the Deso. So you could look to even trade if you're not in a position where you feel like you can take the team fights.
No, that's out. And talking about the team fights, we do have MFF. Leading as a 5-man now at this bottom lane, but look at NLG's position. They're ready for this. They're hiding in the sideline.
Just farm 200 gold. You could hit BKB so soon, just sell your bottle with some
If you kill some people, that'll give them the money.
Hopefully they kill some people. That'll give him his BKB.
Sing sing. And on the front, Mitch moving forward. Station points it back into one. Regard to get the follow crush now. There's the ultimate coming through. Excalibur has got a BKB, leaving them to do the night. They've already lost Mitch though here. He didn't manage to get down the wall. This is going to be the big point of this fight. They've lost Steve once. They did get a crush onto the first. Demon being taken down to some two. The Aegis taking into account it, but they will find Excalibur a second time. And now Spartan just left alone on the sidelines. Look at the tether across and relocates back to base here. But again, MFF with the favourable trade. I don't think Spartan's going to want to bring anyone back into this one, as he'll almost certainly just lose his life here as well. And yeah, he's
swing from Girder.
He's taken down it. A third kill here for the side of MFF. They'll get the tier 2 as well, and with 3 heroes down, I don't think they'll have any reason to stop this push here on this bottom lane, and they may even be able to force out some buybacks here as Steve is still down for 30 seconds. And
without BKB, I don't think buying back is even really worth it. At least not for the TA.
Okay.
The hero who has the least, I guess, net worth really should buy back in the situation, because you don't want your TA.
Garter, nice crush on some two, looking for CC here. He's going to put the Manta here, the yours as well, holding back the Slardar. He's trying to move forward, past the BKB they want to go. Excalibur's brought back in, they need to try and find something. Yasuo will get a 2% down here for the sideline. CC's just going to TP out. In fact, they're all TPing out. Will they be able to cancel anything? No, they won't. Not in time. The rise. Oh! He needed a bash there.
That was an incredibly slow reaction from Mitch. He should have very easily had that vacuum.
Yeah, a little bit unfortunate there.
He must have been looking like farther down or to the left and didn't realize that the hero was there. Like sometimes you do that when you're chasing, right? Like you're looking ahead of where you're going, not necessarily like to the side. And he might have just not seen it fast enough. But that buyback was very costly again.
Yeah, but they only found an Undying, which is, I mean, they were hoping for a lot more than.
But you can see the real problem with these team fights, right? Like, that last buy bottom, NLG, they take it very split up. They have two heroes committing to killing a freaking Tusk, while their TA is sitting inside of a Static Storm fighting three heroes. Like, that is zero coordination. And the other thing, too, is since Excalibur popped his BKB, Mitch ate the entirety of the Eclipse, stuck in a kinetic field, and couldn't run away and just dies. So your Darkseer dies for no reason. Just saving the BKB could have potentially split the damage enough to where he lives. Your BKB is on Slardar, he doesn't feel scared and can actually go into the fight. Like there are so many things that went wrong there for NLG. And yeah, sure, they can still fall back on the idea that their lineup can still kill with mass minus armor and double BKB on their cores, but you can't continually make these mistakes. MFF will eventually have enough of an advantage to start pushing your high ground.
Yeah, I mean, the advantage at the moment, the fact that they've got these two very fine club, there's what, 12 Bloodstone charges I believe on a rise at the moment. He's having a pretty good game going for, I guess, the Shiva's guard next.
He is definitely getting there.
And then, how close was that Undying to the Aghanim's? Pretty close.
Pretty close, yeah.
It's got more than halfway there. So, it's going to be a little hard for NLG to fight into, to say the least, when these items come out from the side of MFF.
I think it's already kind of looking pretty grim. There's a Solar Crest on Demon. They're going for this backstab play.
Look at these guys here hanging in the trees.
They're going to need to relocate to be on point. Like, they need to be on the target.
They need to have everyone here. I mean, they've got the wall. If they can't find an enemy, but a Rise coming in with an Invis rune. Oh, a Rise. Spots them all out.
Is this where you just drop a kinetic field?
I think you just go for it. They're just going to go for it, MFF. They know that, yeah, they're all there. In we go, straight onto Mitch. Darkseer's out of the fight. Milan's got to run. Garter's going to get glimpsed back in. Will pop the BKB to ensure that he keeps his life. But that Invis rune there from Arise and that awareness to check out that spot of the map, hats off to the man.
Yeah, that was just very, very thorough play from Arise. But it is kind of obvious to a certain point, right? Like, you only see maybe one hero on the map at that point. Actually, I don't think they saw anyone. So it could have been everyone missing. Just checking into fog at that point when you have the invis, that's just... It's something that you should do that a lot of players don't. But just making that play put them in a great position to take the fight because NLG had no idea that they were scouted.
Buyback from Darkseer as well. I mean, these fights are going to be risky because at this point there's 3 buybacks on
They're just going for split rush.
Yeah. Can they get the vision here for a glimpse? Yes, they can. Spartan. He's going to need a free pick-off on this one. There's a butterfly now done on Sing Sing. Excalibur goes for the CP out. We'll be able to make it here.
He's going to wish he made MKB soon.
Yeah.
Because the Solar Crest and a butterfly...
I mean, at this point, does he just go for the MKB rather than finishing off the Daedalus in its entirety?
It's a hard thing to do because you're actually running low on inventory space at this point. So you're just saying to yourself, do I want to sacrifice, like, 1,000 gold that I spent on this Chrysalis to sell it to go for something else? Because you don't want to have to carry around a Demon Edge, then you can't have a TP, right? Then you're also contemplating buying bots when you need damage. So he's actually put himself in a really bad spot in terms of itemization, maybe hoping that the last couple of team fights went better, so he didn't need to worry about evasion at that point. Because a little while ago, it was just the medallion, right? And it was just like a talisman of evasion. Okay, that's manageable, even with crit. But now it's like you really actually need MKB, because you're just going to miss so much if you're trying to attack that target.
In the jungle at the moment, MFF positioned very aggressively here. If anyone comes out from the side of NLG, they'll get a bit of a shock if they head towards this jungle. New forward here, Rise. Just clearing out the way. The push with the Manta illusions from Sing has managed to find itself up to the high ground. And they would love to go here. Excalibur jumping in onto a Rise, gets the trap slow as well. Is he going to try and move out for more than this? Don't think twice about that one. There is backup here on the side of Monkey Freedom Fighters. You got a bit of a push coming out on the bottom lane from Mitch on his Darkseer. And it's going to warrant a CP back here from Jimmy himself. Now just burst down the wave. Now moving forward, there's going to be a relocate in. They want to fight, but the Tombstone dropped here. Excalibur across the BKB, but they've already lost the eye. The damage for Sing is just too much. And look, Excalibur just melts to the damage there at the Beaver Eye. Double kill for Sing Sing. Garter's trying to do what he can with the BKB, but he's going to run it. There's always going to be settling up and killing it is. Arise there with the Wicked 6th Street, taking down Garter. And that was not the relocate that NLG were looking for there, because Sing Sing just cleaned through them all there with that DD in tow as well now on the Luna.
Yeah, I think a lot of things went wrong for NLG this game. I do think their draft was capable of winning. I think maybe doing the tri-lane with the Wisp bottom instead of having it with Slardar could have been a better play in order to pressure that lane even harder. Like just force the Luna to not get any farm at the very least, and then maybe your Darkseer gets to a faster Arcane Boot mech. Maybe, you know, your Slardar and Tusk trade even on both teams, that's fine with NLG. Your TA was still getting good farm. The supports aren't going to be rotating, so you're kind of playing the same style of early game, but you're actually pressuring the one big threat that you're going to have to worry about during late game, which is Sing, right? Because now he's at a point where you can't deal with them. They walk down, they get middle racks with ease, they're going to get a second set here. I don't think NLG have what they need to deal with this Luna at this point.
Yeah, this is pretty bad now for NLG. I mean, it's, as I was saying before the game, I felt that this game goes 30-40 minutes in, MFF kind of get past the rift point. They're just going to be in their element, and it's a position where NLG just, they seem to struggle when they're putting this, you know, they are behind. They've tried for those kills in the mid-game. We've seen him dive onto Sing Sing. They found him a couple of times, but that was it. He's only died twice this game on the Luna. He's got 7 kills, 10 assists. There's now an absolute guy. Now let's see if they can find anything that's really okay. Excalibur was the BKB looking for a way to find one. Maybe he can find Yapsu as well, but Yapsu's pretty tanky here. Is he tanky enough though? He goes for the clap, but yeah, the second meld hit and the right clicks. Excalibur will get himself a double. Now with a snowball in from Jimmy.
Oh, he didn't take Excalibur!
Oh, Excalibur.
That is unfortunate.
Oh no.
He is dead.
Oh,
he missed the sun. I still live though.
Left alone.
Did he like miss tether? Was it something definitely went wrong there.
Excalibur got forgot.
A very, I would say, uncommon misplay from Spartans.
Yeah, we've seen him save everyone every time. This time they're probably just like, well, screw you guys.
You served your purpose to me, TA. I am done.
I mean, TA's dead for 60 seconds. They do have a buyback available. Sing Sing's going to look for Roche.
This is just awful, actually.
Free Roche here for MFF at this point. I mean, they can try and fight, but they're fighting without their TA, one of their main damage sources.
Yeah, I don't think you can kill this Luna anymore.
This is going to be a buyback for it. They really want to go. Garter jump straight in, but the Yules is already there. Sing Sing's got the ult ready if he wants to use it, but the BKB comes out from Garter. Garter trying to man-fight Demon, he will be able to get it. No, the snowball coming out just in time. Now has the amplifier, and now the snowball forward onto Mitch. Now the blink back. Demon's going to live with the tapping from Milan, and Garter there with the finish, of course. Now Sing Sing comes out with the ult, but the BKB fought by Excalibur. Man's stopping the United. He continues to fight. They found the Iris and double kill over the Luna. They're chasing down Excalibur. They'd love to find more, and they should be able to do it. Rise is moving in as well. Garter gets a lovely 2-man crush. They're buying some time for Excalibur to escape, and Excalibur will be able to get the blink off, so they get the TA out of this one. Garter might be a little less lucky here. He's trying to get himself in the tree line, but Arise is there with the vision from the Shiva's guard. Garter's hiding in the corner. Godlike streak for Arise as he takes him down as well. And NLG with 4 heroes on the deck. I mean, that was the play that they needed to go for. Is admirable with the buyback on Steve, trying to fight off the back of Garter's initiation, and it looks alright, but they just can't do anything against Sing now. Sing is just too fat and too farmed on this Luna. 21k net worth, Satanic Butterfly, Manta Star, 2.8k in the back and level 20. Yeah, they just can't kill the Luna, and he just does too much damage in these fights.
Yeah, it was a battle of item progression between the TA and the Luna, and right now the TA is behind, so I mentioned it early on, if the TA is ahead and you have what you need to be able to sit there and just burst the Luna down, then you're going to be in a good position. But NLG lost a couple of really key team fights. The bottom one, I think, was the most important fight that they didn't even have to take. Like, they were chasing away from a tier 2. They weren't even defending their own buildings at that point. They were just going for an aggressive play. Just let the Slardar farm 200 gold. Like, that makes such a big difference in these team fights when you don't have BKB. Especially against heroes like Leshrac and Lula, who have that ridiculous magical damage output.
And they just going for the win here. Arise is going to have a bit of a fun blinking in. That's Garter now as well with a nice move, but the static storm and the kinetic field being popped down by that. They're hard to fight in. Garter's BKB is going to run out fairly shortly, and when it does, he's almost certainly going to go down. He gets a nice multi-man crush, but it's irrelevant at this point. GG is cool. And well, there we have it. Monkey Freedom Fighters taking game 1 against the side of NLG Gaming. And it was a tough one for NLG. They had a little bit of a point, you know. Well, 10-12 minutes in when they found a really nice fight down on the bottom lane. Yep. Which is, they just kind of needed to find more of those fights, and it didn't happen. MFF were just on top of it. As I said, what Singh ends up dying, 2 times this game, once on that bottom fight, and the other time when he was a little bit too far out mid, but they just didn't make those mistakes again.